Hello, it is Ghoulish Gal here. Hi. I've actually been requested by Crimson Altar is your name, I think. I'm 99% sure to talk about what it's like to be a medium. And this is going to be pretty unedited because I'm lazy and I don't exactly know how to edit this because it's just going to be me talking about my personal experiences that I've had thus far in my 23 years of life being a medium and being able to talk to and see spirits. So, yeah, settle down. I don't know how long this will be. I'll probably make it not like how can I say it? Like a series, I guess, because like I've said, I'm 23 and all of my memories I've been able to, see and speak with spirits. So, I guess I should start from like the beginning. I'll start with childhood and then I'll go into teenage and then I'll go into current. 3 different videos, I think. So, let's get started. First, when I was little, one of my very first memories, like my personal memories that I can remember, is when I was 5 or 6. I was pretty young, but I was old enough to sleep in like an actual single-sized bed and not like a toddler bed or whatever. And I'm trying to visualize it for you. My bed was against the wall, facing the other wall, which had a closet. And it was one of those like slidey door closets, you know what I mean? And I remember very, very vividly that I was laying in bed and I woke up in the middle of the night, obviously, and I had a nightlight because I'm a child. But I had a nightlight and I remember seeing near the closet, like against the closet all the way up to the ceiling, I remember seeing a shadow figure with a hat. Which, after a lot of research now that I'm older and watching many of these horror channels, I've learned that apparently the Hat Man is a thing and visits a lot of people like he's a shadow person. I don't know if that's him. According to my mom, it wasn't. And I'll get into backstory, but my mom also can see spirit and she's sensitive, so she can feel them around as well. But aside from that, I remember seeing him against like just this tall figure, 10 feet probably. Or maybe it was like the way he was standing in the light that made him seem that tall. But I remember seeing the silhouette, and I remember looking at my nightstand and thinking, maybe my cup is in the way making that weird shadow, or, the stuff on my nightstand is making the shadow. So I remember just taking it all off, like one by one, and it still being there. That shadow, and I remember it. So, of course, me being a young child, I screamed for my mom. I was like, Mom, there's a thing in my room. And she came running, and it was there. My mom saw it, and my mom actually looked at it, and she said, I know you're here to protect her, but right now you're scaring her because she's young and she doesn't understand all this stuff. So please, I need you to go away. And eventually it did. When I blinked, it was gone. And my mom sat down and explained to me, it was probably my late grandfather from my dad's side watching over me because he always wore a hat. But I don't know if it was him or the Hat Man. I mean, I didn't feel scared, so I'm assuming it actually was my grandfather. So I'm assuming that was it. But going also before that, my mom told me that I used to get out of my crib somehow when I couldn't crawl yet or climb. When I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months old, I'd somehow get out of my crib and make my way into their room. Which, if you want to visualize it, there's this long hallway and then there's like a really sharp turn. And then another sharp turn which goes to the steps, which is like a really bad fall if you go down those steps. And my parents' room was right in front of the steps. And every time that I somehow got out of my crib, I would somehow never fall to my death. I'd always end up in their room, no matter what. So once again, my mom's saying that's my grandfather who was taking me out and playing with me or whatever. I don't know. Because I don't have memory of that far back in my life. What else? I remember having a friend, actually, when I was in school. But he was like an older guy. I don't know, maybe I thought he was a janitor or something. But I talked to him a lot during like free play or whatever that they had in kindergarten back then. But there was never anyone there. Like, no one else saw him but me. And of course, people are like, well, maybe you're just a kid or whatever. But I remember hearing the teachers talking about me seeing this person and them freaking out because apparently some janitor guy did die. Like, he worked there like all of his life, but he died. And so people were saying maybe it was him coming back to the school to make sure everything was in order. I don't know. But there was that. What else? I remember, because this is all in my old house. So this was like before I was a teenager. So it was like 10 years and under. 2 houses down from me. So there was my house, another house, and then there's this big apartment building. It went up in flames one night. It just, like a gas tank or something, exploded and just went up in flames. And I remember my mom, or was it my mom or was it my grandmother? So one of them, we had to leave the house because they didn't know if that building was going to explode again. So we had to get out of the house, and I remember going to my aunt's house or whatever. So that house was completely burnt. It didn't fall. It wasn't collapsed, but it was burnt and uninhabitable, and no one was allowed in there, all that stuff. But from my hallway window, which was right in front of my room, you could see that burnt building and all like the empty windows or whatever. And I remember almost every single night I saw a woman standing in that window, and she'd smile and she'd wave, and me being young, I'd be like, hey, what's up over there? And I told my mom, I see this lady in this house all the time. And she's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. She's like, whatever, it's fine. Okay. And then when I got older, I researched it a little bit. And apparently a lady did die in there. So I'm assuming it's her spirit. She never left that house, though. She never, came to me in front of me personally and spoke with me. She just let me know that she was in there. And keep in mind, these instances I never felt scared or in danger. I just felt like they were people. I mean, I don't know, you guys, I don't know if you're too young or too old or whatever, but if you've ever seen that movie Paranorman, I resonate so much with him because that's kind of what it's like. Like, you see them, clear. Like, sometimes they have, this aura around them, but sometimes they don't. But, in that movie, sometimes they do. They have, an aura around them, so you can kind of tell that they're a dead person versus someone who's living. And you see them kind of just like that. And, they're everywhere. You see them everywhere you go. Just like you see people everywhere you go. And it's hard to explain in that movie. It was just yeah, that's how it was. And I wonder if a medium helped them design how Norman thought. And how he saw these spirits. Because it's very similar to how I see them. Sometimes you see them how they die. The way that they died. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you see them as they want to be seen, but sometimes you see them as they were when they died. Perhaps bloody, it depends on how they died. But, after all these instances, I talked to my mom, and she's like, yeah, that's fine. A lot of people in our family, see spirits and stuff like that. So it wasn't new to her. But I remember once I started to get into understanding that I wasn't just a crazy person, this is a thing, and I see things that aren't alive. I remember, not exactly meditating, but how do you say it, not becoming one, but opening your mind more so to the thought of, I can do this, I could actually speak to these beings, these spirits, and, my spirit guide, he came through more so than he has been. Sorry, my phone is buzzing. But, I was actually able to, see him. Before, I'd always feel him around me, his presence. If you guys ever get that weird feeling, the hair on your back of your neck sticks up and you feel, really cold all of a sudden, that's usually spirit energy. Usually. Unless you're, paranoid at that moment in time. then it's probably just because you're paranoid. But if you're not paranoid and you're doing nothing, it just happens. 9 times out of 10, it's, spirit energy around or near you. But, I remember seeing him. I mean, I still see him. He's not right here at the moment. He hasn't been with me for a while. He pops in every now and then. It's really weird. It's like talking about a friend, because I've known him, like, my whole life. But I actually started to be able to, like, physically see him. And I remember when I was young, like, I was 10-ish. So as a 10-year-old girl, I was all like, ooh, boys are so cute. He's cute. I'm not gonna lie. He's mid-20s. He never told me his actual age that he died at, but he's like mid-20s. And his name's Aaron. Oop, I hit my mic. Oopsies. His name's Aaron. And I used to talk to him all the time. I must have seemed crazy to most people, just sitting there talking to nothing. But I used to talk to him all the time. But when he came through, he was like, yeah, I'm your spirit guide. I help you make sure, evil spirit doesn't like attack you, and evil spirit leave you alone. And I'm also here to help you communicate with the spirit realm if you so wish to communicate with spirits. When I was young, I was like, oh yeah, man, this shit's awesome. I could talk to dead people. This is like the best. Because when you're young, you're like, that's cool to you. And after a couple years, like when I was 13 or 14, this is a long video, I'm sorry. But when I was like 13 or 14, I remember having so many spirits around me that I just couldn't concentrate. I couldn't breathe. Like, it felt like I couldn't breathe all the time. My head hurt all the time. I was so, like, surrounded. Like, you feel claustrophobic. Like, imagine, like, 40 people, like, crowded around you, following you everywhere you go. And the only reason that they did that is because I left myself open to communication 24/7. So think of a medium as like a flame and spirit as moths. And moths are always just attracted to flames, so they all go to the light. That's kind of how it is. So I remember it, and I remember vividly that my mom actually put a computer in my room so I could watch movies at night, so I can concentrate on the computer screen and the TV and try to like drown out them yelling at me and looking at me. And it's hard. Like, it's not just, talk whenever you feel like it. Like, they just come at you, and it's no fun at all. I remember it was hard. I mean, there would probably be double that if I didn't have Aaron helping me, situate spirit. That's my dog. Alright, sorry about that. People were walking through my yard for whatever reason. So, anyway, I totally forgot what I was talking about. Spirits everywhere. Yes. No fun. No bueno, actually. And then after a couple years of that, I stopped. Like, I closed myself off to spirit communication, but Aaron still came through because he's my spirit guide, so he was always near me. So I kept him there, but I cut off pretty much everything else, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. Because there was a shit ton of stuff that happened, between those few years, which I'll make another video if you want me to. But I remember just being a little bit more calm. I didn't have things following me everywhere. I mean, I've seen them. I will always see and feel them around me, no matter what. But they don't come to me. Like, I'm not open for them to come, so they don't. Usually. Every so often I will get spirit that will attach to me, which I'll make another video about the attachments that I've had. But other than that, I haven't been bothered by many of them since I closed myself off. But lately, actually, I downloaded an app on my phone, like a spirit box type thing. If you don't know what a spirit box is, it just basically produces white noise by scanning through numerous radio stations over and over and over again. So it like stays on them for 0.1 of a second, and it just keeps switching through them. And spirit use their energy to contort and move the audio from the channels into words and sentences. And maybe I'll try to figure out how to record me doing one, but every single time that I've done it, I've always got intelligent responses back. So when I'm using it, I hear spirit all the time through it. So that's interesting. Maybe I'll make a video of me doing a spirit box session. That would be fun, huh? I freak out all my friends when we do it because they always give correct answers. Because 9 times out of 10, it's my spirit guide Aaron talking through it. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else you guys want me to... Sorry, I'm playing with my glass over here. I don't know what else you want me to talk about. There's a lot of things that I've known through studying and research and whatnot, and through personal experience. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I really want to talk about right now. This is a really long freaking video. It's almost 20 minutes long. It's like 15, 16 minutes long. Oh my god. But, ooh, I hit my thing again. Ugh. But yeah, that's pretty much me. Like, it's weird. I don't know. I mean, it's my normal life, and I've had people tell me, that's not real. Like, okay, I mean, it's fair. You're allowed to not believe in things until you've experienced them. You know what I mean? That's allowed. I don't mind. But you don't, like, be rude to somebody about it. You know what I mean? Don't be a dick, is all I'm trying to say. Don't be a dick. And everyone will get along. World peace. Don't be a dick. Yeah, I guess that's it. If you guys want more of these, like, personal story things, I have no problem sharing them, because I have had quite a few attachments. One of which I think was not good. I don't want to say, I don't want to say demonic or evil, but just not good. So I have that, and I have a few other a few other, like, attachments that weren't bad, but were kind of very close to me. Like, they're very personal stories, but if you are interested, I don't mind talking about it, because talking about it kind of helps heal the wounds of time, if you will, like time and expressing and telling things and whatever. I'm just rambling. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now, because I don't know how to do these unedited video things. So, once again, I'm going to try to end it, because I keep jibber-jabbering, because I like talking about it, because, it's normal for me. And I like helping other people realize, there's other things out there than just, what you're doing and what you go through. You know what I mean? Alright, so, Ghoulish Gal out. And leave a comment if you like this video, if you even watch the whole thing, because it's so freaking long. Let me know if you want to know about my attachments, or more about spirit that I have encountered, and other kind of thing like that. Spirit box sessions, whatever. Alright, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, alright? And remember, there's always someone or something watching you.